All right, what's up, everybody? It is time for Power Shift Your Week. Let me move this down a little bit. All right. All right, everybody seems to be coming in. Let's see, who do we have? TYART360, LIDUD. A lot of people coming in. Now, you know, if you want me to shout you out, even though I see your name up there, if I can't read it that well, or it's hyphenated or all that good stuff, I can't shout you out. Just wanted to say who you are, from where, and I'll shout you out. One Deep Photography's in the house. Alexandra, thank you for the beautiful words. Who else is here? RKG22_bit. See, I want to say your name. RKG22_bit. Jenny from the chopping block. I get that one. That one's an easy one. Tina, what's happening, Tina Shamblin? Shout out to you. AJ Will Beat Fury. I think that's what it was. Somebody's from Boston. Wale from Brooklyn, New York. I see you. Oh, somebody's from Maspeth, Queens. I used to live near there in Massapequa. I think that's near there. I'm not sure. Gold Silky, Calgary, Canada's in the house. Jody from Florida's in the house. Life Journey Clothing is in the house. Erica from Illinois. That's simple. I get it. What's up, Erica? Ibrahim from Sudan. By the way, love my jacket. Thank you. Sudan's all the way up here in here. Yes, indeed. EOD from Charlotte, North Carolina. Alfie's Journey. All right. All right. So anyway, Funny from Chicago. So we're going to get right into it. So, you know, I always try to give you a fact or a stat or something going on for Power Shift Your Week to hopefully give you a little bit of insight on what you should think about this week, as well as what I have learned this week. And a lot of times I'm not going to tell you anything new. I'm just going to often remind you of what got you here and some of the things that you have forgotten what to do, because as we grow and we learn, we learn new things, but our mind can only retain a certain amount of information. I mean, unless you are at a genius level. And what we do is we forget sometimes about some of the things, the old things that worked for us in the past that got us here, because it's only human. How are you going to get elsewhere if you don't start learning new things? And if you learn new things, you fill your mind full of all these great new things you learn. Sometimes you go back and you forget some other things. And then when you go and reapply them, you sit there and you say to yourself, the Power Shift gang's in the house. I'm going to get to that exactly. You say to yourself, damn, why didn't I go back to those things? So I think that's just a lesson of life, and I'm here to tell you that it happens to everyone, right? So everyone write this down. Says Grand Pappy B, something like that. Sorry about that, but thank you. So here is a fact and or a stat, and you'll see I'll come around to where you can benefit off of this. All right. Did you know that according to a survey released by Pew Research Center, Pew, P-E-W, that's an odd name, with over 2.3 billion active monthly users who have logged on within the last month, monthly, Facebook still remains the most widely used social media platform. Roughly 2/3 of U.S. adults, 68% now report that they are Facebook users. Now, I want to share with you something, because you may go, okay, Daymond, what's so great about that fact? Well, over the last couple of years, we've seen new platforms come out like Snapchat and Twitter and Instagram and all of them, and Twitch and Clubhouse, and all of them are great. And then also what we saw is an increase in advertising costs from Facebook. And everybody, please, I'm not only going to talk about Facebook, so please pay attention to what I'm saying, because hopefully it'll spur some other thoughts. And so the advertising and the algorithms got way more expensive through all their litigations and public issues. So it made it much harder for you to reach your target. I've even heard people say that Pinterest is probably a better place to reach your targets. But however, if you think about Twitter and you think about Instagram, people a lot of times focus all their money or resources towards those platforms. And they go, well, you know, that's a great platform because everybody can see my stuff. But none of them can do what Facebook does, which is you can't create a small community of like-minded people on Twitter and Instagram, because you're out there talking to everybody, which is okay, but you can't create just groups where like-minded people are. Thank you what you said, Alu David, but you cannot create like-minded groups, and that is where Facebook really starts to build your brand, because whether you're advertising or not, you're communicating within a like-minded group. And that's extremely important. Even on Clubhouse, there's like-minded group, but people pop in and pop out. But in like-minded groups such as Facebook, people become members and they stay there. And, I have my own group, the Daymond John Network for entrepreneurs, and it makes it easy for entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs who are familiar with my brand to engage me and for me to go out there and talk to them. And that's, as somebody just said, the Power Shift gang is in the house. A lot of people in my group have been able to work with other people in the group that they just met and or get to know. Of course, be very careful of any group you go into, because often I've found that it's the ones that are often pushing too much. The bad boys and the bad girls know how to go into groups and try to manipulate people, not necessarily just on Facebook or Clubhouse, but in the streets. And the good people sometimes get caught up. So remember, everybody's not created equal. Of course, any group you go into, make sure you do your homework on those people. But it is important that you think about Facebook. Why am I saying that to everybody? Well, because a lot of the old things that have gotten you here, we're so busy looking at all the new things out there. And remember, you're only supposed to put a little bit of time in new things and go back to your fundamentals. Because if you look at things like billboards, people say, well, billboards. Well, right before the pandemic, billboards were at an all-time high. Why? Because you can't swipe a billboard when you're in the highway, when you're stuck in traffic. Now, obviously, with traffic changing and traffic patterns changing, that has changed, but they will come back. So what's a good time to buy right now? Billboards. I happened to be out on the beach in Miami the other day, and you know what? Everybody saw those planes flying by with those numbers or signs or whatever standing outside. Why? Because you can't swipe those things away. People will say retail is dead, but retail and airports are stronger than ever before, because you cannot get Amazon in the airport. It is a traveler that has enough money to take a plane and is not taking a train or taking an automobile. You can't even get water into the airport, so you are stuck there waiting, and you have a captive audience that will pay also a lot more money for that normal product because they know it's at airport prices. So I say all that to say many of you are just following the norm, and or following the crowds, and I've been guilty of it as well. But always during these hard times, always try to zig when somebody's zagging. Always try to zig when they zag. If somebody's coming to you right now telling you should be on Bitcoin right now or you should be on sports cards, well, it's already too late, because those things started to take off 6 months ago or a year ago. Always zig when people zag, and remember that. So the things that people are all talking about, those are dead or gone, they're not dead or gone. And there's certain people hitting those things. So you can get those things at a discount. You can use it when you want to test things at a very, very limited price. You can also barter, because of some of those things, people say, oh, nobody's talking about that now. Well, then those people right now are looking at you and saying, hey, I'm ready, open to do a deal with you. Right? So think about all those things. You know what came back also recently? Drive-through theaters. If you have a local business, why wouldn't you advertise at a drive-through theater? Everybody wants to still go to the theater, but they want to stay in their car, in the comfort of their car with their family. And if they're driving a place, obviously they have a car. Well, if you advertise locally through a drive-through theater, and there's thousands of them in the country, there's actually an organization that pushes them, well, then you know that locally that person is going to drive to see your restaurant or your clothing store, because they're going to know you're open, and they already are in the mind, in the mental process of, I want to get out of the house. That's why they were at the drive-through theater anyway, and the drive-through theater probably doesn't charge much for that. All right, so somebody said, what about NFTs? Yeah, NFTs are great, but you have to have some kind of level of brand to put behind the NFT, because if you're purchasing all types of NFTs, you don't necessarily know if it's going to go for a good amount. So you know what? I want everybody here is your test for the week. Try to go out there and look at your Facebook groups first, because those things are free. And as you think of new ways to advertise, think of the old ways of advertising and marketing. How much would it cost right now to run off 10,000 flyers? Think about that. And have a kid or a couple of kids go and put them over, in people's in people's mailboxes. Well, think about that. Everybody's home. Everybody's home, and you ain't getting flyers no more because everybody's trying to digitally market you. Think about that. How much would it cost you right now if you had a local business and plus, you know what? Your kid is probably home. Make your kid go out there and drop off 10,000 flyers. Just think about that. And you know what? It doesn't even have to be if you have a local business, right? You could have a business online and come up with some really great. Somebody said, is that legal? Yeah, it's legal. You can drop off flyers. Anybody could do that. We used to do that all day. But, think about it like this. You can have an online business right now, and you sit there and you run off 1,000 flyers and have your kid or yourself, keep it real, yourself, go out and drop them off to all the homes and see how many people hit your online business through your flyers. Think about that right there. All right. Anyway, so go out there and think about other ways to go outside of the box. I want you to do that. If you are somebody who is a real estate broker, you know what? Get your kid a drone and go out and have them drone every house that you're representing. It'll probably cost you, a drone will probably cost you $600-700. But if you're representing 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 houses in this crazy market, and every time you put your house up for listings, you have aerial shots and shots coming inside to outside of the house from the backyard and highlighting a tree or a pool, watch, you will sell way more than everybody else because it'll be a visual presentation that's above and separates from everybody else. So that's what I want you to do. Think about those type of things and apply those to your single business every day. And even if you are an entrepreneur, you're working at a company, find other ways to stand out. Of course, you're not going to go and advertise and market in that way. But while everybody's home, think about ways that you can market all the amazing things you're doing for your company, maybe even online. You don't have to market it, but talking online about how great your company is, how and of course you need to be saying the truth, but the things that you're enjoying about your company and where it has been for you during the pandemic and how it has really helped you, and what's going to happen. Well, other people in your company are going to see you and they're going to look like you as a problem solver. Of course, your senior management is going to say, this is the type of person we want in our company, the person that even when the times are tough, they were sitting there, they were talking as a leader, or they just appreciate us reinvesting in our teams and in our staff. And those things are going to take you further. Don't go out and talk bad about your company. Why? Because, of course, your company's going to see it. And second of all, if you go to apply to someplace else, they're going to look at you and see all the shit you were talking and going to say, I'm not sure if I want that person in my company. They're probably a troublemaker. I want you to think about all those things, all right? And I'm going to bring somebody else on here right now, whoever I'm going to bring on. So, all right, ping me right now if you want me to talk to you and bring you on. And let's see who we got here. I see two buttons here. One is questions. I don't know what's going on here. How do you do that thing with the 4 people on here? That would even be better. All right. Let's see if Ginger's here. Let's see if she wants. See if Ginger's here. If she wants to come on. If not, we will bring somebody else. So, hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
It is always a pleasure and an honor to see you. Where are you at?
Home.
You're home. Oh, good. You have any questions or suggestions? I mean, because you hear me speak often in so many different platforms, so you kind of can say anything that I'm saying, with your eyes closed, because you kind of know me so well. But do you have any questions that you think maybe people do not know that I can potentially answer that maybe I haven't touched on, or something you think I did touch on in the past?
At first, I actually put in the comment, you said doing all these flyers, there will be some people who is very environmentally friendly. They may want to see if you print anything is on recyclable paper.
Even good point, right? And so you may be talking from a place like where you're from. I know that you care about the environment, care about people. So yeah, I mean that's even socially responsible, right? But make sure that your company is not selling something that is not environmentally friendly, and you're like, well, we put it on environmentally friendly paper, because people got to be like, well, that's somewhat of a hypocrite,
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? I like that, right? Because on the flyer, you can say a lot of things, right? You can say what you are, what you do, what community you're giving back to, that if people don't like, if they don't become whatever, they're not interested, please give us your comments on how we can be better. All that type of stuff. So it is really good. I mean, there's a lot of room on that flyer, real estate, but just catch them when, and you know what you could do? You can also run off, if you run off 10,000, you can run off 10 with different titles. So you see which one gives you a better response. You know, one is the big title, like, I don't know, come eat here, or other ones, restaurants are back, or do you know the burgers are the new black, whatever the case is, right? And then you see who responds to which title.
Yes,
What are you
and also,
doing lately with your company? Tell us about your company, please.
I do consulting to help people to build their own beauty business. And I also started my own beauty brand last year because I want to use it as a case study that I can help people to launch their beauty product after I help them to launch their own beauty business. So it will be a 360-degree of service.
Now, what I've seen lately, I know you took a challenge a couple of months ago, and the challenge was to do an Instagram live or something of that nature every day for 30 days. I believe that's what it was. And I saw you out there doing that. Was that scary at first? Because a lot of people are very fearful of getting on camera and presenting to people. Was that scary at all, or did you find it helpful? Give us some insight for everybody here who's like, you know, I have a product, I have a brand, or myself. I just don't want to be on the camera all day. I just don't want to do it. You know, whatever the case is.
Well, you have to do it because if you truly believe in your product, you are the brand. So you have to push yourself forward to do it no matter what. It's a
Did you
dedication.
did you find it hard? Did people make fun of you? Were people supportive of you? What was the outcome? Is there anything that you learned?
People actually would love to see a live person talking to you because then you build connections. And I do have a little trick that I do use my Fan Love Beauty Lip Balm because it's built for speakers. So whenever I use that before I talk to people, I feel empowered.
You know, and that's what you know. A lot of people think that, listen. A lot of people think that when you get up and you speak to one person, two people, or a lot of people, and I know that people think public speaking is to speak in front of a lot of people. You could be speaking to one person in the street or doing a presentation at the office. A lot of people don't realize that the more polished you are, you know, the more people don't necessarily resonate. But if you just say it, say, hey, I, I don't normally do this. I'm trying it. I'm stepping outside my comfort zone. I'm doing whatever. They cheer for you. They want to be part because everybody understands the nervousness, right? And it's the same as when you're pitching your product. You can say, I know this, this, and this, but the whole reason I'm pitching it to you is because I know that you understand this, and here's where I need more information or I need help, or if I'm not presenting something the right way, let me know. Make people part of your presentation because somebody just said it very easily. We want you to win.
Yep.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you. Any final words you want to say to anybody out there about your product or what you're doing, anything you're thinking?
Sure. I actually want everybody to experience my Fan Love Beauty Lip Balm because it's the healthiest lip balm ever. And because lip balm is, people can ingest it. So you do want to make sure you use a good one. As you always said, a healthy person can have 1,000 dreams. So starting with the choice of lip balm is critical.
That's true. So I use Fan Love Beauty. It's all natural. And it is true because as you put it on, you keep ingesting it. You keep ingesting it. So a lot of the stuff we use have a lot of chemicals. And we'll sit there and we'll look at all the things that have happened in the past and all these, all these diseases that we're getting. That is from a lot of the aluminum and deodorants. It's from fluoride. It's from ingesting this stuff. It's from all the stuff that we're putting on our skin because our skin is our biggest organ. And don't get me wrong, I am, I'm always trying to improve my life. But even after I do that, we're still running around eating all kind of processed food and everything else. So any little change that you can make is always extremely helpful to you. So because we never know where some of this stuff is coming around from. So all right, Ginger, thank you so much as always, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I never know how to exit this thing. All right, Ginger, I think you got to hang up first.
Oh, okay.
You got
How?
it. Just hit the X mark on top or on the side. I'm not even sure. Maybe some of you can help me with that as well. There you go. All right, there you go. So Fan Love Beauty is her product, and she's really absolutely amazing. And a lot of you who already, know me know that she is one of my favorite people in the entire world. Let me bring on somebody else who may have a question or a comment. Let's see who this is right here. Go live with Misha Creighton. I hope I said it right. Hi.
Hi,
How you doing, Misha?
I'm doing well. How are you? It's such a pleasure to meet you.
It is a pleasure to meet you as well.
I look a mess. I'm so sorry. I'm just,
You look beautiful if you ask me. So
thank you, thank you. Look, a new entrepreneur. I'm from Mississippi, and I design license plate frames. My question for you is, how do you pace yourself, like as a new entrepreneur? Like I've been going hard since January, using the masterpiece strategy, just selling my license plate frames out of my trunk from state to state, and I'm really like burnt out. Like, could you give me some advice on that?
that's a personal decision that every one person has to make for themselves. I am uncertain about what your obligations are in life. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I always say, when I was going really hard, I didn't have any kids at the time. I didn't have any other responsibility, but I was also a little late. I wasn't smart enough to go to college. Not that I didn't have the brain. I wasn't smart enough here. I wasn't smart enough in a way that I thought I was too smart, and I didn't go to college. And all of a sudden, I turned around. I was like, I'm late. I am
Yeah.
behind the scenes. I hear that. Who's that in the background?
That's my daughter, Cassidy.
All right. How old is Cassidy?
She's 6.
All right. So it sounds like you may, I'm not sure if you have care for her, your parents, or anybody else, or your husband, or whatever the case is going on. So I don't know how you can
I'm
put that
talking to
time
Daymond
aside.
John. She's like, who are you talking to?
Well, that's
Look,
what
I'm
they
gonna
are.
have to put her up on you so she can become
Come on.
educated.
Let me see her really quick. Let me say hello to her.
Cassidy, come here, honey. Look,
She
we're
said,
in
okay.
a tornado like watch. So she's out of school today. Her hair looks a
Hi.
mess as well.
Hi, sweetie. How you
Tell him
doing?
hi. Okay, let me take my headphones out. Tell him hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, sweetie.
Hi.
How old are you?
6.
Did you do school today? Did you go to virtual school today?
No.
No. What do you like? Tell me, who do you like? Do you like Peppa Pig? Do you like Paw Patrol? Do you like Frozen? Who do you like?
Frozen?
Frozen? Are you Elsa?
No.
No? All right. Okay. All right. Anybody else you like? What
LOL.
about Wonder Woman?
No.
No. All right. What about Wonder Bread? Okay, I'll let you think about that one.
I'm sorry.
I think there's something playing in the background and you're distracted, right? What's playing? What show is playing right now?
iPad.
I don't know what the show is called.
Okay. All right.
See it.
All right. Well, thank you, sweetie. I'm not going to bother you any longer. I'll let you go back to your to your show. Well, so again, that is of course all the things that you have to consider as you're starting your business. Do you have a day job, or you're just hustling your plates as well?
Well, I'm a recent graduate. I'm a board certified and licensed occupational therapy assistant. I treat and rehabilitate children and adults with disabilities and injuries. I'm actually still looking for a job in my field, but that's my passion. I love helping others, and that's what brings me the most joy. I think my niche is to treat children with autism. So I'm working on that, and I've talked to some of my previous employers when I did my clinicals last year, and they told me that they're expanding and opening new rehab facilities, and they have me in mind. So
Well, I can only tell you what I think, and what I think is not as important as the reality of what you are able to do. I think that you started a career that you want to hopefully fulfill, and hopefully the license plate frames are fulfilling some of those dreams in between, because obviously you have to feed your family and do what you need to do. If you find that you are working and burnt out, but it is providing enough money to bridge you through the time until you get your position, I would say keep going harder and harder and harder, because what you want to do is be able to give yourself a time to follow your passion and go out there and apply with as many jobs as well
Yes,
to
sir.
hopefully get that information. But I would say if you understand any kind of social media marketing, or not even marketing, ways to get yourself out on social media, that would be important, because number one, you can captivate a lot of the people that you are selling the license plates to, because I'm not sure if you're selling it out of your car. I'm not sure if they know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah. Actually, that's where the idea came from. Like, being a certified occupational therapy assistant, I wanted to show my support for other essential workers. So my first design, it says "I am essential" in red and white. I'm new to Instagram. I haven't been on social media in like 6 years. I was just focusing on my family, my husband, and my job and going to school. So that's where that started from. I got on Instagram about a month ago, a little under 2 months. It'll be 2 months on the 26th. So I think I'm doing fairly well on that. I've completed about 40 purchases online through my Square app link. But I'm still learning, and I love to learn, and I have a new design coming out. My goal is to sell 1,000 a month. I sell them for $10, which would be $10,000 a month. I need a strategy on how to market those and get those out to sell them in bulk. That way I can fulfill that goal. But about 2 weeks ago, I sold 250 of them. People were telling me, that's never going to work. But, I done my research, and there are 286 million registered vehicles in the U.S. So I'm like, hey, why can't I get at least 10%?
Okay. Well, okay. Well, first of all, you don't want to think like that, right? Because you don't want to worry about that. But I will give you some things to just think about right now. Um, First of all, you should trademark and lock up the name "I Am Essential," not only on social media, but you should lock it up for any accessories and things of that nature. And hopefully, there's nobody on here, as I give you this advice, that goes out and locks it up themselves. But you already have, as you go to the USPTO, United States Patent Trademark Office, you already have proof of sales of "I Am Essential" in your category. So technically, nobody, if that is not taken, can beat you to that category, because you can debate them trying to register that. But I will register "I Am Essential" in keychains and accessories and car parts and various other things. All right, number one. Number two is, when you go to those people and you sell them something, how can they get a hold of you again? Do they call you? Do they email? Because is there a way for them to follow back up with you when you sell somebody a license plate
Yes,
frame?
I have some business cards. They have my number on them. I have a Gmail account and Instagram, but I have a small, like, private Facebook group. I'm really an introvert, so I'm learning to expand on social media and get on TikTok and
You don't have to do all those. You have to do one or two platforms. It doesn't matter. But when you sell it to them, you can do a couple of things, right? First of all, I'm not sure if you're going to be giving any of the proceeds to those in need, because obviously it looks like you are a person who cares about those in need. So when you sell it to them, you can also sell them bulk, because I'm sure that when somebody works in a hospital or essential worker sees that plate, whether they come out and say, "Where did you get it from?" they need to be able to quickly and easily get to you. Now, maybe that's on the bottom of the plate, but also people who have family members that are in the essential working part, of life. They want to support that. That's never going to go away after we've been through this pandemic. Every single one of us now has a brand new appreciation for essential workers. You can also ask them, if they like what you do, to just take a picture and post it as user-generated content on your social media platforms. And
yeah,
of course, the best places to go and try to sell it to are local car washes, of course. And you can also, I did a post the other day about the Girl Scouts. You can also get kids to go door by door, and you give it to them and you say, "Hey, I'll give you this whole box of 10 units or 50 units," and have them go door by door, and they make a percentage of the sale. So now you have the cutest and most beautiful, salespeople in the world. They are making money. They are getting stuff to other people who it is a really great program. And, and then you go out there and, get the, make the sales. and that bridges you in between the time when you're able to get back to work because we open up and people are more willing to be around other people. So I hope some of that stuff has helped you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Could I tell you one more thing?
Absolutely.
Fashion, and I know that you love fashion. I like to give a shout out to CMD, Chasing My Dreams brand. They're located in Memphis, Tennessee. So, I just want to put that out there and stand in the gap for someone else because, I'm not selfish and I have other ideas in mind, but, I just want to spread the love.
Well, I want to first of all, thank you for talking about some other brands and giving them the platform because we need to know about it. But other ideas, I want you to stay on this one and expand it a little bit more if you can. I want you to think about Sony, the company Sony. It started off with just rice cookers, right? I want you to think about the company Listerine. It started off with just stuff to take off or polishings off of furniture. All right. So you don't have to always think of a million things. A guy named Daymond John started off with hats, and the most successful company in Shark Tank history started off with socks called Bomb the Socks. I want you to stay narrow and deep because you're doing something that's absolutely amazing. And when people check into you, they'll realize that you also are doing God's work for the autism community as well as other people. So really make sure that you stay focused on that because you got a bigger calling, which is helping the people that we love. All right.
Have a blessed day.
You too.
Thank
Bye-bye. All right, you got to hang up there.
I'm trying to figure. Look, I'm new to Instagram.
Don't worry
I'll
about it.
just click
Listen,
off.
I've been on here for a while, and I still don't know how to get off. There you go. We turned around and saw the teddy bear and everything. All right, so that was really sweet, and she's absolutely awesome, as a lot of people are saying here. Blessings to her and what she's doing. And thank you all for tuning in. Sound like I have some construction going on outside now, and that's just right about the time that I'm about to hop off. So no problem, Misha Creighton. I see you right there. We all loved you, and you are absolutely amazing. So everybody, thank you so much, and I will see you next time for a Power Shift Your Week, and have an amazing, amazing week. Greg, what's up, man? I see you. Sorry I missed you when you were in New York, and I will shout some people out. Just put your name in really quick, and hopefully this noise in the background doesn't get you too crazy over here. It's Brian. I see you. Vitko, misspillowtalk.org. I see you. Eric Patrick Thomas. Love him. Follow him if you can. Roland Dorsey, I believe it was. Jenny Locks is in the house. I am Danny from Miami. What's up, DAD? You need to send me an invoice, brother. Totally forgot. I'm glad you just, thank you for taking care of me when I was in Miami. I totally forgot about that. I'm glad you were here. There you go. Mark Jenkins, Army Strong. Marquise Jenkins, Army Strong. Jeffrey Brush, what's up? I see you. Love from Nairobi. It is Kenyi, I believe the name was. Deep. All about awareness, LLC. All right, everybody. Later. I will talk to you later. Peace.